Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Casting Kevin Costner's replacement for Beth and Rip's Yellowstone spinoff. 10 actors who would be perfect. There is one Kevin Costner, and there was only one John Dutton IEA, but the franchise must go on, and the upcoming Yellowstone spinoff following Beth and Rip is looking for someone to fill his cowboy boots. Though the casting choices have not yet been confirmed, if the goal is to find someone of Costner's ilk as John Dutton IE, there is a pool of contenders who could fit the bill very well. The person needs to have a certain gravitas, feel comfortable in the Western setting, and be both imposing and charismatic at the same time. As the Dutton family patriarch, John IE was the beating heart of Yellowstone, and most of the action revolved around him. Because of his stoic personality and traditional values, he would often bottle them up. Fiercely loyal and devoted to legacy, he had his flaws but always tried to stick to his guns and do what he thought needed to be done. Whoever fills the role in the Beth and Rip Yellowstone spinoff should be able to represent similar traits and be able to carry the emotional weight connected with the leadership position. With his star on the rise, and a very successful turn in White Lotus Season 3, Walton Goggins could capitalize on his elevated profile by joining another successful TV universe. He has already shown his Western credentials in Justified and The Hateful Eight, so viewers would have no trouble believing him to be a scheming ranch owner. Though he's substantially younger than Kevin Costner, he could represent a different generation with a newer perspective. He certainly has the smooth-talking charm required for the role, and he could very feasibly go head-to-head with any character on the show. It's also easy to imagine fitting in with the Western aesthetic, and a Stetson would suit him perfectly. With Cole Hauser as the lead, their on-screen dynamics could be quite interesting to explore. The Australian multi-hyphenate has showcased that he can do the American accent justice, and he has also played gruff and masculine characters in various projects. Hugh Jackman is one of the most famous actors in Hollywood, so to get a star as big as him would bring a lot of attention to the new show and potentially draw in new viewers. He can play an ambitious patriarch as shown in The Greatest Showman and is comfortable on a horse as seen in Australia. Though mostly known for his film work, a move to television could be an interesting one. With his successful return to the MCU, he might want a project that is very different, but with the potential to be very high-profile. Logan showed that he can play a tortured hero type with conviction, and his standing would lend the show that all-important gravitas. He has a soulful side that would work extremely well within this type of role, and it would be interesting to see him show some of the more antagonistic and morally gray aspects of the character. It is quite surprising that Jeffrey Dean Morgan has not been part of the Yellowstone universe already. It's still unclear what connection the role will have to Beth and Rip, but if the idea was to have them clash, then the actor that gave the world Negan would be perfect. He already lives on a ranch and is very outdoorsy, so he would have no problem fitting into the Montana scenery. He has a commanding screen presence and can handle a redemption arc with aplomb. It would be quite a smart move to join another franchise and shake it up. He has proven he can do so in The Walking Dead, so having some of that energy in another already established world would be a great way to add a fresh twist. Morgan has established himself as an actor who can embrace his dark side, but also show emotional vulnerability when it's needed, so a John Dutton-type role would suit his abilities very well. If Taylor Sheridan chose to shake things up a bit, it could be argued that introducing a matriarch character could be a refreshing direction. Helen Hunt has incredible range, as she is shown to be able to handle action as well as emotional depth. She is not only an Academy Award winner, but also a tornado chaser with great comedic timing. There would be a lot that could be included in the role, including the struggles a woman would face in a male-dominated environment. Hunt has already shown that she can thrive in television as seen in her guest spot on Hacks, and, of course, her starring role in Mad About You. It would be a wise career move to join a show that has the potential for further spin-offs and a longer stint. Helen Mirren has already proved that a strong female Dutton can be just as formidable in 1923, so seeing one in the modern day could be just as impactful. The talented actor has already shown his drama credentials in the real-life-inspired True Detective Season 1, so a return to the TV screen is not out of the question for Woody Harrelson. He already has the accent perfected, and he could make his version of the character more soulful and smooth. His varied resume would give him all the swagger needed to carry the role, and he is able to convey a lot of emotional depth at the same time. Though Harrelson is often the hero of the story, he has also proved that he can show different sides to his characters, which may include both light and darkness. He could easily be seen clashing with Rip and Beth, but could also be a confidant and support system. He would also bring some much-needed humor to the role, as he is able to sound incredibly wise in the most unexpected way. There is an undeniable toughness that Josh Brolin would bring to the role. After all, he was responsible for snapping away half of the universe, so feuding ranchers would be no problem. He showed his Western credentials in No Country for Old Men, so a return to the range would be easily achievable. His long career is quite varied, and without a range ending, he could be primed for a move to the Yellowstone universe. Whether he joined the Dutton clan in some capacity or played a bitter rival, there is a lot Brolin could do with the role. While Kevin Costner made the character his own and reinvigorated the Western genre that is his forte, Brolin has a lot of experience of his own that could lend itself really well to the show. His mix of intensity and husky charm would be a good addition to the existing cast. Though it may seem like a long shot, if Robert Redford did choose to return to his Western roots, he would bring so much star power to the show. As one of the most respected and established actors of all time, his status would elevate the show so much. Similarly to Kevin Costner, he is an Oscar-winning director and could pull double duty in some instances, which would be even more of a draw. He was iconic as the Sundance Kid, so having him on the ranch-based spin-off would be the perfect fit. The patriarchal aspect that John Dutton brought would be easily achievable, as the legacy actor would bring a lot of his own wisdom and experience to the character. Though he could handle the moral ambiguity associated with a Dutton character, if he did join the franchise, he would most likely be the hero. That would actually be a unique twist to have someone more pure. There is no role that Denzel Washington cannot play, as the Academy Award winner has proved on many occasions. From Shakespeare to his scene-stealing turn in Gladiator II, there are few genres that the actor hasn't conquered. While he is predominantly known for his film work, he has also starred in theater productions, so TV could be his next frontier. And a show with so much staying potential could be a wise choice for Washington. His undeniable screen presence would be a draw for many viewers, and he has been known to play many characters with a tendency for shady dealings and intimidation. But he is also a magnetic personality whose wise words could be highly inspirational and inspiring. If the show was able to get him on board, he would undoubtedly take the role to exciting levels of quality and nuance. True Grit showed how capable Jeff Bridges is with a firearm and a horse, so a move to the world of Yellowstone would be a natural fit. He has an innate presence that is believable for someone who has worked the land, and similarly to Kevin Costner, he has a gruff voice and tone that commands attention when he speaks. His line delivery could be quite similar and make just as much of an impact. He would be able to represent similar traditional values and a stubborn side, but his charm and charisma would still be able to win viewers back around. He would suit both the role of a family patriarch who teams up with Beth and Rip, or an antagonistic rival who could outstare them with ease. Whenever Bridges is involved, there is a quality that's guaranteed, so having him appear would ensure the legacy of the show remains strong. Having starred in many a Western, the fact that he played one of the most famous figures from that outlaw history, Wyatt Earp, gives him the edge needed for a role in this new show. Kurt Russell certainly looks like someone who is comfortable around a dusty ranch and cattle, but would also be able to handle the emotional depth required to play a John Dutton Iwai-style character.